I'm Aqua, and we are watching the Foolproof Marine Aquarium. Okay, and this is a continuing series on how to set up a foolproof marine aquarium. In this series, we are discussing a fish-only tank and not a reef tank. So, if you want to set up a fish-only tank that is foolproof and that will be safe for your fishes as far as diseases are concerned, then this is the video you have to watch. Setting up a fish-only tank is not the same as a reef tank. Some people mix fishes and reef, but a reef tank should only concentrate on invertebrates, and fishes are just basically an add-on. If you add a very expensive fish on a reef tank, chances are you are not going to be able to treat the fish if ever it gets a disease such as white spot or velvet. And if that fish will cost you about $100 or $200, then you really have a big problem, because once it is in a reef tank, then you just have to rely whether the fishes will be able to fight off the disease. So in part 3, we are now going to discuss tank setup and decor. In part 1, we have discussed biological filters, and part 2, the filtration system. So if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, I suggest you watch it, because a lot of people are not really knowledgeable on how to set up a biological filter. They simply think it is simply dosing a tank with bacteria, but you have to grow the bacteria into the filtration system itself. And some people even think that the biological filter is practically non-existent, and they rely simply on live rock. In part 2, we have discussed what is the best filtration system. There is a lot that can be used actually, but we are looking for economy, efficiency, and safety. And as far as these three criteria have been used, we have chosen an overhead filter, basically because of the cost, and also because of for safety reasons. And we have stated that an overhead filter safety factor is that the spillage, if ever there would be accidents in the filtration system, would not be outside the tank, but would be on the tank itself. Okay, so you have to take those things into consideration, as well as the ease of cleaning and also the efficiency of the system. Okay, so some filtration systems are quite efficient, but they are also quite expensive. Okay, and a lot of people are turned off going to saltwater aquariums because of the cost. In the tank bottom of a foolproof aquarium system, either you use a bare or a marble pebbles. If you use a bare bottom, that is nothing on the bottom, then dirt will always be visible. You will be constantly siphoning. If there are marble pebbles, you can hide the dirt and siphon it only probably 3 times a month or once a month if you have time. Okay, it only needs vacuuming once in a while. Moreover, marble pebbles are actually have least reaction to drugs. That is, you can put copper into the system and you don't have to worry that the copper will be gone soon, or it would produce adverse reactions. So the best pebbles to use on the bottom would be marble pebbles. You avoid coral sand and crushed corals to avoid reaction to drugs. We have discussed in our video on fish diseases that crushed corals sometimes could cause the toxic tank syndrome when used with copper. Moreover, coral sand will cause a disintegration of copper in a short time. So we avoid coral sand and crushed coral. Okay? So what I have suggested is that we simply use marble pebbles because it is basically inert. As far as decor is concerned, use only resin and plastic decor to avoid drug reaction. It is the safest to use as far as drugs are concerned. But you have to, put it in fresh water first for a few days if it was newly purchased, because the paints may not have completely dried. If you are sure that the paint has been dried completely, then you can use it. But it's best to soak it in fresh water for a time. If you are unsure, then for a week. If you are sure, probably a few days would be enough. 1 or 2 days would be enough. Soaking it in fresh water, only to ensure that there would be no leaching of the paints that was used in the fake corals. We will avoid, in the Foolproof Marine fish-only tank, we will avoid live rock and coral skeletons to avoid drug reactions. Especially live rocks are famous for causing drug reactions with copper. I have experienced that live rock will sometimes give way to Vibrio bacteria blooms, and that is very dangerous in a fish-only tank, because once it develops, it will kill all your fishes. So don't forget to watch our video on disease treatment to understand why I am endorsing, fake corals and decor. So don't forget to watch our YouTube channel, Jim Aqua Salt. So don't forget to subscribe for updates. And if you found this to be useful, share it. Okay, so this is Jim Aqua Salt thanking you for the Foolproof Marine Aquarium.